Welcome to Amplify OT Q&A, where I answer common questions. I'm Clarice Grody. I'm an occupational therapist, Medicare specialist, and the founder of Amplify OT, a company dedicated to helping occupational therapy practitioners and students learn all about Medicare policy and advocacy and engaging in healthcare policy. So today's question is occupational therapy a qualifying service for home health? Can occupational therapy be the only one on the order for Medicare patients for a home health episode of care? And to be short and sweet, the answer is no. Occupational therapy is not currently a qualifying service under the Medicare Part A benefit for traditional home health. Now, that being said, so what qualifying services are is it means that a patient has to meet a certain list of criteria in order to be eligible to use their Medicare Part A benefit for home health. And so there has to be a series of things that happen. So like you have to have a physician face-to-face. The patient needs to require intermittent skilled services. The patient needs to be homebound. And then lastly, they need a qualifying service. And those qualifying services are nursing, skilled nursing, speech therapy, and physical therapy. This has been an issue for a long time. It's not something new. And so it's an issue that we are actively trying to solve. So if occupational therapy is the only discipline on the home health order at the start of care, then technically that patient is not eligible to utilize their Medicare Part A home health benefit for traditional home health. So there has to be one other discipline on the order. So it could be OT and PT, OT and speech, OT and nursing. Then the patient's eligible to use their home health benefit, but OT cannot be the only discipline on the order. Now, the reason there's especially a lot of confusion around this now is because of the issue of the new legislation that passed, I guess not so new now, but allowing occupational therapists to complete the initial start of care, OASIS. So occupational therapists now can initiate and complete the comprehensive initial assessment or the start of care OASIS in Medicare cases. They may have always been able to initiate the start of care for other insurances, just like they may also be a qualifying service for other insurer programs. But under Medicare, we were not able to initiate the start of care OASIS. We are now eligible to do so thanks to advocacy from volunteers, as well as the American Occupational Therapy Association. Legislation was passed by Congress to fix that regulation. So occupational therapy is eligible to initiate the start of care OASIS. And so that has led to some confusion about us being qualifying, but that legislation only fixed the start of care issue. It did not fix the qualifying issue. Now, even though we aren't a qualifying service at the start of care for home health, we are a qualifying service for recertification, and the patient's benefits are still eligible if we're the only discipline remaining. So let's say the patient starts out with PT and OT, and the physical therapist wants to discharge after a couple visits because PT is no longer needed. OT absolutely can remain on the case, and the patient is still eligible to receive the home health benefit, with OT being the only one. So OT can stand alone. It's also eligible to recertify patients. So if you reach the end of that 60-day certification, the patient continues to need care and meets all the other criteria, occupational therapy is a qualifying service for a recertification. So OT can be they can stand alone, as that's commonly said. So occupational therapy is not initially qualifying at the start of care, but occupational therapy can stand alone and is a qualifying service for recertification. So I hope that clears that up with a quick answer to, is occupational therapy a qualifying service for home health? For Medicare patients, no. We may be a qualifying service for other patients. We are actively looking into legislation to fix this issue. Hopefully it doesn't take as long as it did to pass the language of the Medicare Home Health Flexibility Act, but we shall see. So stay tuned and keep an eye out, and make sure to always engage in advocacy. If you want to see your question featured on the next Amplify OT Q&A, don't forget to send me an email or reach out to me on social media. Until then.